Morning everybody. Sorry about the late start this morning, late by all of 4 minutes. Just a bit of a mix up with our technology getting it started this morning. But we are out on the Rietspruit Game Reserve and we are searching for leopard. My favourite cat, my favourite animal. Had an amazing drive yesterday evening. Caught up with the male lions, the elephants, had the male lions roaring. Probably one of the most epic sunsets I've ever seen here on the Rietspruit Game Reserve as well. Definitely worth mentioning that. A very special drive and very, very happy to be back here on the Rietspruit Game Reserve. Good morning to those who have joined us. I see that the good ladies Barbara and Connie are with me. Hello again, ladies. Hope you've had a wonderful day. Hope the coffee is strong and flowing nicely. Right, let's get started. So what I'm going to be doing this morning, everybody, is, well, at least for the first part of the morning, is definitely searching for signs of leopard, and in particular the female that's resident here close to Painted Dog headquarters. So we'll just be going past a couple of her favourite haunts, a couple of the nearby waterholes, and just check the road network in this area and see if we can pick up on any sign of her. I've got Andrew with me this morning, everybody. He's on camera behind me, and he was telling me that this morning he bumped into a hyena right outside his tent. Spotted hyena, which is pretty cool. Morning, Sandy. You're the second out from Leadwood, one on Blowbunk, and audio of the male lions on the eastern fence line somewhere, I think south of Spoorsnayers. No other updates.
Copy that. Thanks, Gareth. Morning, Sandy. There sounds like lion contact calling down 404. I think it's behind the start in the house on that market. Copy that. I'll make my way towards that area. Thank you.
So I did mention last night that we'll be going past the boma where the wild dogs are being held at the moment. I do plan on still doing that this morning, but probably just a bit later in the morning. We of course know they hopefully aren't going anywhere, those wild dogs, so we'll probably touch base there a bit later. But for the first part of the morning, whilst these leopards are still active, I want to search the best areas for leopard and then maybe get round to the boma a bit later in the morning. Kevin has reported hearing the male lions roaring on the eastern fence line. Probably not going to get that far this morning. Never know, we might trundle our way along that side, but like I say, everybody, for the time being, we're on a leopard mission. Oh, really smells beautiful, the bush this morning. Wonderful smell. This time of the year, you know, in spring, when everything starts to flush, flowers start to come out, you get some really beautiful smells in the bush.
Alex, I don't think any exercise is okay. There's order of landline, towards the direction, and also closer to Lakewood. It's difficult to hear, but I think in close to 25 seconds I'm making my way to that area now to listen.
Very, very fresh porcupine scat on the road there. Sorry everybody, I had to reboot my YouTube chat there as well. Phone also went dead on me. Just quickly catching up here. Morning Carol. Good morning Mary. Good to have you with us. Ah, hello Michael. Good morning to you, sir. Wendy and Volma. Nice to have you back. Come on, little leopard, where are you? Good morning, Guido. Welcome to another exciting morning safari here with us. I was saying to Connie and Barbara yesterday evening how much I love these sunrise safaris. I am very much a morning person, but more than that, I love it because everything has now moved overnight. You know, the lions, the leopards, just about everything, but obviously we know the predators are very active at night. And I love getting out onto the roads to look at all the tracks and see, you know, who's been here, who's moving where, and the excitement of potentially bumping into the cats still active at this time of the morning. You know, very often they'll still be walking along the roads, you know, marking their territory along the edges of these roads, still on their territorial patrols and still out hunting. Quickly check this road up here before we move on, make sure we're not missing any tracks here. Just some old white rhino tracks back up there. incredibly warm this morning because of course we have the overcast conditions. All of that warm air is still trapped underneath these clouds. Just thinking about these leopards, and Marine from Ingwe Leopard Research has recently sent us an ID kit of all of the Rietspruit leopards. So leopards that occur on the private game reserves or wildlife estates here surrounding our beautiful little hometown. Really awesome little ID kit that she's put together. And 3 or 4 of our leopards here on the Rietspruit Game Reserve are in that ID kit. Hopefully we'll be adding more as we go. But also very excited that Marine will be back in South Africa pretty soon and will actually be joining us on some of these safaris next week, which is going to be a lot of fun and great to catch up with her and chat everything leopard. And we're really looking forward to that. Michael, yes, I am really looking forward to the Remembering Leopards event this evening. And no, sadly don't have a copy. I'll have to chat to Brent about that. Make sure that he gets me one. Carol, did you fall asleep during a game drive? Oh, shame. I know how much you love these, so you must have been pretty damn tired. Yeah, it's only fitting that we'll search for a leopard this morning on the day that Remembering Leopards kicks off. Yeah, it's going to be an awesome event. Very grateful for all the love and support that's been given to leopards by Remembering Leopards and everyone that's involved. They are very dear to my heart. Well, to a lot of us. It's just wonderful to see so much going into their conservation. Quickly listening for any alarm calls. Right, so just approaching Lemundur and Krip here. See if she didn't come to drink here. Oh, beautiful. Some Inyala that have come to drink here this morning. Mom and baby. Oh, that's beautiful. Just going to get my binoculars out. It looks like she's got a wound across her flank, this female Inyala. Oh, I was too slow. Does definitely look like a wound. Probably just a wound from running through the bush at high speed. She caught her flank on an exposed branch, would be my guess. Okay, copy. Thanks, Kevin. I'm not going to be following up there. What a lovely sight, seeing mom and baby heading off. I always love watching Inyala move. Almost like they tiptoe through the bush, trying to remain as quiet as possible. And they are very quiet. And as you can see, they blend in so well as soon as they get into the thick brush. Right, well, now that they've had their drink and moved on, I can quickly just hop out and have a look around the waterhole here for tracks. Nothing here. On this private safari that I've just led for the last week, I saw some very interesting leopard behavior in the Thornybush Game Reserve. A male leopard, dominant male leopard, they call him Malawan, he's probably about 10 years old. We had a sighting of him with his male who must be about 18 months old, I reckon, and the mother, all in one sighting. And then literally 400 meters down the road, his male cub from a different female, older, probably now about 3.5 years old, in the exact same area. And it's just very interesting how often I've now seen that pop up. There's another scenario that's busy playing out where I used to work in the Sabi Sand at Kirkman's Camp, on Andrew's property there. Again, another dominant male leopard, also I think he's 9 years old, and his male cub, which is almost 4 years old now, are regularly being seen in sightings together, where there's almost no aggression from either of the two males. And I find it quite surprising that these two particular scenarios are playing out at the moment, where male leopards are being so tolerant of their male offspring. Usually the fathers push them out of their territory pretty quickly as they reach sexual maturity, and these young males start to lay down scent and try and establish territories of their own. The father doesn't take it, and he just basically gives them the boot. Yet in these two particular scenarios, both of these adult males are very tolerant of their male offspring. Quite surprising. In the scenario that's playing out in the Sabi Sand, that male leopard that I told you about, that's 3.5 years old, almost 4, he's actually killed cubs already of a female leopard, and those new cubs that he killed belong to his father. And that's just case in point why male leopards usually displace their male offspring, is to avoid that scenario. So yeah, I can't really put my finger on it. I don't know why these male leopards are being so tolerant of their male offspring. It's very interesting. Something definitely to discuss with Marine next week. Ask her thoughts as to why she thinks they're being so tolerant. Right, let's just stop here for a couple minutes and just listen to the bush, see if we don't hear anything. See that Michael has made mention of Hanyile and Shavonakela, both leopards which I spent many years following, and that's the one I'm actually talking about, Michael, the one in the Sabi Sand. Hanyile is the male that's being very tolerant of I forget the name now of his male offspring that's currently on that property. And yeah, exactly, Hanyile was, born, his father, Shavonakela, his mother, the Scotia female. And and we watched him get displaced initially by Shavonakela, and he moved further to the west onto the Lion Sands property. It was actually during Tristan's time as well. Him and I were both guiding together down there, and we watched how the natural behavior played out. Hanyele got displaced and he sort of hid on the far western edge of the Sabi Sand, close to the Sabi River, avoiding Shavonakela. But as he got a bit older, he actually then took over a big portion of his father's territory and then pushed right back across onto the Kirkman's property and took that all over himself as well. And it's interesting to see that. Usually it would be a different male, and usually these male cubs don't take over their father's territories. At least that's my experience in the time that I have followed leopards. So yeah, it's quite interesting. And then yes, I do know the Campan male. Only ever saw him once, to be honest. Beautiful leopard. Never saw two tones, but I have seen that photograph you're referring to there, Michael. Don't worry, I did figure out what Michael was saying there when he said Campan was seen mating with his son. That would have been very weird if that were the case. It just goes to show you, we never truly know what's going on out here. The book will tell you one thing, but these wild animals will do another. They surprise us sometimes. All quiet on the home front. Andrew's been trying to show you a bird of prey up here, everybody. I'll just get a better angle. Sorry, I missed that. Looks like a Wahlberg's eagle, yeah. These Wahlbergs have just started coming back. Well, I think I saw the first one about 2 weeks ago. Oh, this is a beautiful dark morph Wahlberg's eagle. I don't know how much of that detail you're going to pick up in this low light. It's just the silhouette, but a very distinctive silhouette. Small eagle, ruler-like tail, very narrow, straight tail, and the tiny little crest of feathers on top of the head. And still all fluffed up, still a bit chilled this morning. This Wahlberg's eagle hasn't started his day of hunting yet. Awesome birds. A wonderful time of the year, of course, when all of our migrants return. Andrew was telling me that he's recently seen the European bee eaters here on the Rietspruit Game Reserve. What was the other species you said you saw? And broad-billed roller. That's amazing. I don't think I've actually ever seen broad-billed roller on the Rietspruit. But what's interesting with the broad-billed roller is we're starting to see more and more of them migrating further south, which is interesting. Probably got something to do with climate change, availability of food. I remember when I first started guiding, there were very few sightings this far south of broad-billed roller. It took me a couple of years before I saw my first pair. And now, my recent return to the Sabi Sand, well, I say recent, last year when they came back for the summer last year, there were broad-billed rollers everywhere, nesting everywhere. It was unbelievable. From being an incredibly special sighting, a rare sighting, to now having regular sightings of them all over the place is really quite phenomenal. Definitely one of my favorite rollers. They are exceptionally beautiful. Amazing colors. Maybe we'll find some this morning. They're particularly fond of dead trees, broad-billed rollers. That's where they make their nests. Well, they actually usually just use old abandoned nests that were created either by the barbets or the woodpeckers or the wood hoopoes. Incredibly aggressive in defending that nest site, very territorial, chase away all other birds that come near that nest site, and have a very, very awesome, distinctive call. Love that sound. Just going to head up past the reservoir here, everybody. The big reservoir where the elephants love to drink. See if any tracks here. I see a duiker up there. Always reminds me of that sighting we had here, that very first sighting we had of the female leopard here, walking up the road and stalking after that duiker, and then eventually jumping up on the reservoir wall here. I won't forget that sighting in a hurry. Just quickly having a scan along the road here. See if we don't see anybody sneaking out of the thickets. This female leopard regularly walks along this stretch of road here. This road is a direct link between the reservoir behind us here and Kudu Krip. Both waterholes that she spends quite a lot of time around hunting here. Good morning, Deneen. Lovely to have you with us. Hope you have a nice warm cup of tea with you there. Just while we sat parked here, everybody, just a reminder, the keyword for this week is tusk. Keyword is tusk for the week, for any of you that are interested. And again, thank you to our pack members. Thank you so much for supporting us, for making these drives possible. You know, it's amazing. We get to have, you know, so much fun out on these live safaris, thanks to your membership, you know, which isn't a heck of a lot of money. You know, I'm always careful when I say that, because money is a difficult thing for a lot of people in the world right now. But for just $10 a month to become a pack member, it helps us so much in what we do every day. You know, like you saw recently with the capture of those wild dogs and bringing them safely back here onto the Rietspruit Game Reserve, keeps us going, puts fuel in this car, pays the salaries, pays the bills, and we love what we're doing. And we thank you all for your membership and your continued support, and hope that more and more folks will become pack members. Awesome way to interact with me, with Brent, with Andrew, with all of the conservation heroes that we of course have in our conservation talks, the That's Wild show. A lot of awesome benefits to becoming a pack member. Didn't see any tracks there around the reservoir either, so we'll head down towards Kudu Krip. On the road now. Just done. This is rhino dung, I think. Oh, that's cool. Right here. Often two species together. Okay, break. Lovely to see much of that. You stand by side. Oh, that's very cool. I see Mary's posted that his wild dog photo is going onto a nice canvas print to hang on my wall. That's very cool. That is a very good photo, that's for sure. Well done, sir.
Thank you, sir. I'm fine.
Yeah, hopefully we'll get that leopard photo for you this morning, Andrew. Pretty cool track of a white rhino bull that's walked along the road here, everybody. Really fresh, and you can see where it's been dragged from. Heavy. They often drag their lip along the ground. It's also a means of marking their territory. It's heading in the direction of this little waterhole that we're heading toward. Looks very fresh, this set of tracks.
Sandy going on to blowback for 2.
I don't know. Some signs of the black rhino here too. Not as fresh as that white rhino bull. There's another set of tracks of a white rhino bull that came in from behind us here. I wonder if these two bulls didn't meet up. Tracks everywhere here. I'm going to crip of these rhino, of several rhino. This was a busy waterhole last night. Looks like 3 or 4 rhino came here for a drink. Including No Hope and the calf. I actually think I heard Brent saying that he saw No Hope and the calf here yesterday, sometime yesterday afternoon. I can definitely see their tracks here. And then of a white rhino bull. And that black rhino drank on this side of the waterhole last night. You can see his tracks here. Came in, drank and went straight back on the same set of tracks. ha. Ha ha ha. This is more to the point of why I came here and got out the vehicle. There's tracks of our female lead here, everybody. She drank here last night as well. It does look like from here she headed straight west. Just try to see where she goes from here. It's quite difficult because of all the rhino tracks. But I think she must have been here after the rhino. Interesting. Male leopard tracks here too. Just busy checking the edge of this tree here to see if there's any hair left behind. Obviously often rub those subcutaneous glands on the side of their face up against trees like this, and his tracks are right here, the male. But I can't see any hair. Doesn't mean he didn't do that, but yeah, and then here he turns. So having now walked around, I can tell that it's not a female leopard at all. That track that I thought was a female next to the water was the hind paw of the male. And it appears from here he actually cuts south, so possibly toward Dam, where we were last night. Thank you. Probably shouldn't leave that there. Too focused on leopard tracks. So what I'm going to do from here, everybody, is I'm just going to do a quick loop around this block to see if there's any tracks of the female. Otherwise, then I'll quickly shoot down to Dam. You never know, we might get lucky and eventually see this male leopard. And then from there, we'll probably head up to the boma, see if we get lucky with the wild dogs. Apparently you were viewing a bird while I was gone.
Yeah.
What was it? A dove? A laughing dove, okay. Lots of different doves calling there while I was walking around looking at the tracks. Cape turtle dove, emerald spotted wood dove, orange breasted bush shrike, white browed scrub robin, chin spot. Birds are all very chatty this morning. Also some male lion tracks here. Well, one male lion. Just trying to now gauge how fresh they are. They look pretty fresh. Most likely it's the injured male. We know that the other two males, his two brothers, are currently somewhere close to the eastern fence line. Kevin heard them roaring down there this morning. When we saw them last night, they definitely weren't with their injured brother. Just see where he goes from here. Still walking along the road towards the next big crossroads. Four-way intersection up ahead. Try to see where this male lion went from there. Actually see the tracks of this male lion quite nicely now here, everybody on the road. Nice big paw print. Right, let's go up to the next junction. Tracks of a single male lion on Kudu site, close to the junction, Sunkamp site. The tracks are heading in a westerly direction, northwesterly direction.
Are you a bit noisy, but I've been getting reports of male lion on Leadwood. Variable, but we just around on the riverside or somewhere.
Copy that. Confirm if they located the male lion there.
Yeah, it's very noisy. I can't hear you too well.
How do you copy me now, Kevin?
I'm still noisy, but I can't hear you.
Just confirm for me, have they located that male lion?
Just getting reports. Just said she heard near our house, and Arnold saying he's hearing on the other side of the road.
Copy that, thanks.
I've been doing laps here
Laps.
around Twin Crossings near Wild Fig, and I'm not managing to pick it up. There are no tracks, and the contact calling is quite soft. I'll go towards with an hour, but I've been working really south of Twin Crossings because it sounded like it was heading south.
So we're getting reports from the homeowners on Leadwood of lions contact calling
Arnold says towards the orchard.
on Leadwood, which is quite a distance from here. I don't think it's this male lion. I think it might be the pride that are on Leadwood. So I'm going to stick with these line tracks, everybody. He continues along the road here. Let's see if we can find him. It'll be interesting to see how that injured male is doing. These tracks are pretty good. These tracks are quite fresh. Maybe late last night, early this morning, this lion was walking along here. And the general direction he's heading is towards Seskant Krip, where he often lies down close to that very popular little waterhole, popular with a lot of the animals, so you never know. We might come across rhino and leopard in this area too, so let's stick with the lion tracks for as long as we can. And just as I say that, there's rhino up ahead here, everybody. Must be the bull we had tracks of earlier that was dragging his lip. Yeah, I can actually see his tracks on the road here. You can see where he's just dropped some dung here. Fantastic. And it looks like he was coming towards the road here too. Whew, big ponging smell of fresh rhino dung there. Yeah, he's just busy grazing here on the left. I'm just going to stop up ahead here, everybody, and I'm sure we'll get a great view of him coming toward us here. Lovely. Interesting. Couple of wounds on his flank, a bit of blood. Might be from fighting, although I'm just having a look at his face, and his face looks pretty clean. There's one gash above his right eye. Not sure yet if it is fighting. Just going to quickly pull up my ID kit here, everybody. I've got to try and get better at identifying the different bulls here. And so somebody has very kindly shared the ID kit with me, so I just want to pick that up quick. Try and move forward again so we can get another look at him. There's a white rhino bull on Kudu Site, just to the southeast of the junction with Kudu Middle.
Couldn't hear you at all.
White rhino bull on Kudu Site, just to the south east of the junction Kudu Middle.
Copy.
Having to shout at Kevin on the radio this morning. I don't know why, but for some reason our radio is not very clear. Just going to try go in here, everybody, and have a closer look at this bull. He's very relaxed, just busy grazing at the moment. Line tracks, by the way, still continue along the road here, still heading in a westerly direction. Right, let's pull up that ID kit quick. Nice look at those ears now, which will help me identify him. Oh, he is just happily grazing along there. So this is white rhino bull number 34, who we believe was born in 2011. See how those ears just prick straight towards us as I start talking again. Their hearing is incredible. Just quickly let Kevin know which bull we've got here. Kevin for Gareth.
Gareth.
Yeah, it's white rhino bull number 34.
Copy, thanks. I can't find these male lines, but they sound like they're on the fence, but I don't see tracks or them.
Copy that. The other two male lions are giving Kevin the runaround. What a treat bumping into this bull, everybody. Just happily going about his business. So this is one of the younger bulls that has been pushing in to the older bull's territory here. And we think that this bull is going to become the more dominant bull in the southwest of the Rietspruit Game Reserve. I wonder if he didn't have a run in with the other larger bull. You know, we saw those injuries on his flank and around the eyes. I can now see on the left eye there's also an injury, I think, just above that left eye. So maybe they did have a coming together. Maybe there has been a bit of a fight. Sure. Got a bumblebee that's busy buzzing us at the moment. I think he's moving on. Doesn't like the pheromones that Andrew and I are giving off. Oh no, wait, maybe he does. He's back. Sorry everybody, I'm just refreshing my YouTube. I don't know why, but it keeps stalling. He also just completely blends in when he moves behind these sickle bushes and raisin bushes that are still quite dry. Slowly coming out here. Might be marking his territory there right now. No, he's not. Oh, this is great. Everybody's going to come out right in front of us here. Yeah, I'd say he has been in a fight. You can clearly now see those wounds above the eye, which is where they often pick up wounds when they're fighting. Obviously most of their fighting is head on. God, this is awesome. I wonder if he knows we're here. I don't think he does. He does now. Scent marking. You are an amazing beast. God, that was awesome. I'm gonna quickly go back to the road, everybody. Wow, that was so cool having him come up and have a quick little standoff with us there. I don't think we're going to beat him to the road. No, let's not disturb him. I wanted to try get ahead of him to continue tracking the lions, but looks like we're going to have to follow him for a bit. Look at those beautiful feet. You can clearly see the size difference in the feet there as well, everybody. See how much bigger the front feet are compared to the back. What an absolute treat. Amazing to just have him that close to us. Scent marking again here now. You'll see the dragging of the feet and the shooting of the urine across that drag. amazing. Every single time I see a rhino, it just puts a big, fat smile on my face. I think after leopard, they're my favourite. Prehistoric giants. Oh, there's a monkey. There was a monkey. He is just so relaxed, this guy, eh? Not phased at all with us following him. A man on a mission. You never know. He might lead us straight into this male lion. Might be sleeping somewhere close to the road up here. Let's see where he goes now. There's a road that splits off to the right here. He's going to do some scent marking first before he picks his route. It always fascinates me how they always have urine to mark their territory like this. You've seen how repeatedly he does it. And you consider that they generally only drink like once, well, at least twice a day, usually the rhino. Amazing that he can just keep going and going and going, just throwing urine down consistently like this. He's doing it again. Dragging his feet, shooting out the urine. Michael has asked the question about rhino urine and whether it has a distinct odor. It does, Michael. It's quite different to a lot of the other mammals, but it's very difficult to pick up on, to be honest. It's not a strong scent, and it doesn't, certainly to our nose, doesn't hold for very long. We don't smell that scent for very long. I just smelt it now, actually, as we went past that point where he scent marked earlier, but it doesn't hold for very long. We're going to leave him be here, everybody. He's following a prominent game trail here, which will eventually take him through to Seskant Krip, which is probably where I think he's headed to go and have his drink for the morning. We're going to continue following these male lion tracks, which still continue up along the road here, by the way. Correction. That male lion cut through the block here. Let's see if he doesn't come back. But that male lion's walking along the very same game trail that the rhino's just taken. Just saw the lion tracks cut off there. And I don't think he's come back to the road here. That's okay. We'll go around. Let's get up to the next road here and see if we pick up on that male lion's tracks coming out there. But what a treat spending time with that beautiful white rhino bull. Very special. would have been somewhere around here that male lion probably would have rejoined the road. That big prominent game trail that him and the white rhino were following comes out here. Andrew's getting excited about some bee eaters that have just flown over us here, some European bee eaters. You can hear them calling. Beautiful call. There's fresh female leopard tracks here on the road, everybody. But going back the way we came, going south. Not going to follow those tracks immediately. I just want to quickly get up to Seskan Krip and see if this male lion isn't maybe sleeping there. And then we'll come back south along the road that runs parallel to us here and see if we don't pick up on her tracks. This is the female we've been hoping to find. She's cutting back towards Lemunduran Krip, the very first little waterhole that we checked earlier this morning. You happy you got to see your bee eater's foot today?
Yeah.
Awesome. Not seeing any tracks of that male lion again here, so I think he's probably gone straight across the road, making a beeline for the waterhole. Just checking. For a split second there I thought I saw a carcass in that marilla tree. Cheers, Michael. Thanks for joining us, bud. Glad you're with us. Glad you got to see that beautiful sighting of that white rhino bull. We'll let you know once we've found the line. And the female leopard shortly after that on the road back home. Yes, Carol, don't forget about the brown hyena. Still haven't seen that elusive creature here. Quick look around this waterhole, see if there's any tracks of that male line. He didn't come here. I hear the tawny eagle calling. Boom, boom, boom. Okay. We'll continue along the road here, everybody, because this is the general direction that male line was headed. You never know, he might have come out somewhere here along the road. But also we do know that that female leopard was heading south, so she might turn up along the road here as well. Often find these male lions lying down on this particular road that we're on here. Here we go. There's the male lion's tracks. Across the road here. Okay, I'm just going to quickly go through this Sodic area here, everybody. You never know, he might be sleeping here. I'm not going to continue tracking him all that much longer because, of course, we are sadly running out of time. And I'd like to just go check Lamunda and Krip one last time for that female leopard. But let's just quickly get through this beautiful open section here. You never know, he might be sleeping somewhere here. Tracks of that male lion cross Seskant Put, just south of Seskant Krip, or probably about 400 meters south of Seskant Krip, heading in a westerly direction. I'm not going to be following up here for too much longer. Nice look down into the Deep Sloot River here. A really beautiful section of the reserve we're in here. I didn't see any further tracks that line, so I wonder if he didn't maybe come down here. This is another one of the routes that they take. sure. I don't see any tracks here either. Can you see this dung here, Andrew? Here, this side.
Get it.
Just try to get it quick. Very interesting dung that we have here, everybody. This dung belongs to the...
Sorry, it's not coming off.
There we go.
Apologies.
No worries. So this is extremely fresh. You can definitely smell how fresh it is. It's interesting, the red ants have come straight at it. This is, look at the size of this dung for starters. It always surprises me how big it is. And if you look at the content inside the dung, you'll see lots of fruit, but also a dark color to the dung, which is distinctive of an animal that does feed on protein as well. This belongs to the African civet, everybody. And look at all the seeds around here. This is called a civetrine. So civets will mark their territory in the same way that a lot of other animals do, like hyena, like the rhino. They have middens, points where they will regularly defecate. And all of this big pile-up of seeds and all of the dung that you see here, except for this little one, by the way, those little ones there belong to jackal. But this big dung right here belongs to a civet, African civet. Clearly found some fruit of jackalberries. They're all fruiting at the moment. And that civet loves feeding on the jackalberry fruit. And you can clearly see that evident in its scat. Very cool. That's not often you see it that fresh. Probably came through here just an hour ago would be my guess. Obviously those civets will probably not be active anymore right now. Predominantly active at night, but very cool to see that. Very cool to find some fresh civet scat on a civetrine. A civet latrine. Very cool. Right. No idea where this male lion went. He's not sleeping out here in the open, unfortunately for us. So we're going to continue further south, everybody, with the last little bit of time we have left. Shame. I see that Di has mentioned that she's fading fast and trying to keep her eyes open and hold on for the boma. Di, I'm very sorry, but we're not going to get to the boma this morning. The rhino and the tracks of the male lion and the tracks of the leopard have just led us too far away. The boma is a bit too far from here, so sadly won't get there this morning, but I'm sure we'll get there soon, and very happy that you were still with us this morning. If that female leopard had turned towards Lamunda and Krip, I would imagine we would probably find her tracks pretty soon now, of her coming out across the road here. Scat on the road up ahead, yeah. Not hers, however. Very fresh porcupine scat. Hoping to hear alarm calls, but it's very quiet. Let's go have a quick look at that waterhole. Still the perfect weather for a leopard this morning. The sun hasn't burnt up these clouds yet, still overcast. Still nice and cool. So that leopard will probably still be active.
On the inflow of the hippodam in Kaya.
Good night, everybody. Thank you for joining us. Been a very special morning. Just slowing right down as we approach the waterhole here, just in case this female leopard is around. She's still a little bit shy when you find her during the daylight hours. I think that female leopard must have taken a different route, everybody. No signs of her down here. Nothing around the waterhole or on the road here. very considerate, it says. Well, that's leopards for you. This private safari that I've just led now, we waited 4 days before we saw our first leopard. We tracked high and low, had lots of fresh tracks of leopard on the 2 different game reserves we were operating on. Tracked up and down. I, of course, wasn't allowed to get off on foot and follow the tracks there, which may have changed things, you never know, but yeah, they are elusive. That's why we love them. Makes them that much more special. But it's certainly been a wonderful morning. That rhino sighting was epic. Especially that moment where he came out right in front of the vehicle. Came and gave us a good sniff and basically gave us the middle finger when he sent Mark right in front of the truck like that. So cool. Nice big puff as well. Big sigh just after marking his territory. Saying, yep, I'm in charge. I'm the boss here. Yeah, I know, Carol, that's so true. It's amazing how often that does happen, where a leopard will just show up without you even having to try and find her or track her down. But I certainly do love the tracking side of it, as you all know. Passionate about it. All right, everybody, we are gonna wrap it up for the morning. Thank you so much to all of you that have joined us. Thank you to Andrew for awesome work behind camera there, bud. Certainly been another very special morning here. We'll see you soon, everybody. Enjoy your sleep or enjoy your day wherever you are in the world, and have fun. I'll see you soon.